friends. Today we are conducting one of the best podcasts, especially for interview preparations. And everybody is facing a problem, especially into interview preparations and getting the best jobs into an industry. So we have Mr. Sesha Giri with us, and Mr. Sesha has a vast experience into a training, development, sales management, as well as effective management with the sales force. And he is heading to one of the company into a management side and leading to entire training team as well. He will help us for a different interview preparation tactics, how you can clear an interview into very short span of time, and also what is the mindset required. Most of the people are getting frustrated when they are not able to get the good jobs in government jobs. Also, maybe if you are working as a freshers and preparing for an interview, also a lot of frustration, you will get it. How to deal with the frustration and keep on trying with the full energy. So over to you, Mr. Sesha. Yes. So can you just give a little bit your experience and share details with us? Then we will start it.
Yes, thanks, Ashish. Thank you very much, everyone. See, the first and foremost, I have been given a lot of interviews. Okay, so and I have taken a lot of interviews. That gives a basic starting point towards making sure that I am that person. Maybe that way we should look at it. In particular, like say, I have worked as a rep. It's a basic. Position in any company. Then I moved towards becoming handling a team. Then of course I had a project management team. Then likewise leadership. Likewise various role has been in part of it. And in every role I had to undergo to take up a new role. You have to undergo an interview. From first is external, then internal. Then you have to undergo a series of process actually. Okay, so what we will do today is that to try and handle trying to give you some tips basically to how to if you're facing the interview for the first time, or have you faced an interview many times, you're not able to succeed as Ashish said, and not feeling good about it. Yes, you'll feel not good about it. What we can do then, maybe like there are a few preparations you should do, like in the during the interview, pre-interview, during the interview, post-interview. Probably this type of things we should be very clear. This will help us actually to ensure that if I am giving a shot to get something, and how 100% I can be successful. There are a few tips I'll give. I'm sure you will appreciate those tips and use it in your next interaction, interview. You can use the word interaction basically to become probably successful. Succeed in the interview, and of course reach the greater heights. Yeah, I
So
think
what
that's
is
what I'll give you.
basically we should take it as an interview. What is the
Yeah,
interpretation we should take it as for an interview? How we can take it as?
yeah. Actually, see, interview is, if you ask a question, what is interview? It's not actually, interview is like a sales, okay? It's an interaction between two people, or, couple of people. You are presenting yourself. It's a sale. And, all of us have every day, in fact, we do sales. We do interact with people. We sell ourselves. Interview is basically a process of sales. Okay, it's a process of sales. Now, what I meant by this process means, like you say, for example, now you want to buy something. What happens in those period? You go to a sales shop or some shop. Now see, when you have a need and you go to a place where the need can be fulfilled, and the person who's there, salesperson will be there, or somebody who is there, selling the thing. He will find out what is your need. Accordingly, he will place his product such that you get impressed with that product, and most likely you buy that. That's the process. Similarly, interview similar to that. What it means, like there is a need. The organization has a need. You have something which will fulfill that need. That is very important. Now you believe that there's a fulfillment of the need is there. In that scenario, what happens is that you go into the process, you understand the need, you say that you present yourself to ensure that there's a need which get fulfilled by me, by my skills, by my knowledge, the ability I have to ensure that this skill this need is fulfilled. You convince other person. Now that'll give you some more basic information about interview. There are different types of interview. Okay, if I have to give an example, right? Okay, you go to any say electronic shop, for example. You want to buy say TV or a film. You just enter an electronic shop. What happens in this case? The salesperson will definitely come, and what he will ask you? He will ask you, what do you require? आप क्या लेना चाहते हैं? क्या करना चाहते हैं? It's just like, it's called as walk-in interview. In the walk-in interview, what happens? You would not show what is that is a need. You enter, the person also, the interviewer also will not know what is that you offer to us. It's basically a new, fresh interaction. That could be walk-in interview. There are a few other interviews, like for example, face-to-face. If face-to-face means what? That it says a formal interview wherein you apply for a role, you prepare yourself for the role, understand what is the requirement of the company, organization, the role and responsibility. You prepare it and go and give a best shot about it. Okay. That could be another type of interview. This is face-to-face interview. Off late, of course, you find interviews or online interviews are there, wherein the face-to-face interaction like video, like now we are interacting, we are discussing, you are seeing me in the video. Likewise, you have an interview. Now, always remember this, most likely at the end of the interview, if that interview is successful, maybe one or two times the face-to-face, one time face-to-face has to happen. The person will have to see you in present, in physically harm. You have to see how you look, how you present yourself. Like in video, probably, you can do some of the, AI related stuff. But when you meet somebody, person, you will definitely need to be very clear. This could be another type of interview. You see, for example, if you go to an interview, you have to be very clear in terms of, what is that the requirement of the role. That is very important for us. What I will do is that, Ashish, I'll tell you what are the prerequisite. Okay, what is required for an interview to be successful. Probably
So basically, you are saying is for what is the pre-work or preparation we need to do. Correct.
Yes.
One more thing is in terms of preparation, we also need some help, is especially for a mindset. A lot of people have a lot of anxiety when you are too much desperate. Correct. Maybe if you are eagerly looking for, if you very much need for money or something like that, you eagerly looking for clearing an interview to get the job, especially in freshers, especially people who are what we can say don't have jobs. At this point, people are eagerly looking for and very much desperate. How you can handle these things and you can also represent yourself.
Yes, I think that's a good question, Ashish, because see, there are, remember this, that in any interview you want to attend, okay, the need is there. That's a very important factor. Now, whose need is more important? For example, organization has a need, very clear. I have a need when I'm at an interview. Okay, there is a need fulfillment is very important. Now, when I go to the interview, always remember this. It's a win-win situation. It is not that the company needs has a upper hand and you as an interviewer goes there and you are in a lot. No, not at all. Okay, it is a win-win situation. I have done quite hundreds of interviews actually. Okay, I have collected and I have interviewed so many colleagues. Now, whenever anybody comes to me, okay, now first thing I notice is that how confident the person is. Now, see what happens when you go as a receiver. The person dominates you. Remember, in an interview or any organization, any interaction you do, always remember this. It is a win-win situation. It is not a win-lose or a lose-win situation. No. Remember this. Because you need a job. The company also desperately needs somebody who is very potential abilities there to fulfill the job. The company also has a desperate need. Remember this. Now, how much desperation? Of course, that can be debated. But always remember this, the choice of giving you a job is always there. For example, if you go to any shop, say mobile phone, for example, you go, what do you do when you go to mobile phone? What we do is that we prepare ourselves, isn't it? Right? What do we do? Nowadays, I think if you go to mobile shop, you don't go just like that. Okay, you will have your plethora of information. You already do some research. You understand what is requirement, what is your need, how that need can be fulfilled with the mobile phone. Okay, you go to Apple shop. You don't say that, I need a mobile phone. You will never say that. Similarly, why? You go and prepare yourself. Similarly, for an interview, I should tell you the most important, which make and breaks are, success. It depends on how much pre-work you do. Very important for each one of us. Now, remember this. Whenever any role offered to you, for example, any role profile is given to you, read the profile properly. Remember this, very important, because when you read a profile, you will understand the requirement of an organization. Now, there are chances, if you're a fresher, okay, that's a different discussion. But if you have some experience, there are many times what happens that the role which is requirement, there's a role for requirement is there, responsibility is there. You already must have done something related to that, right? You must know this. You must make sure that in a crisp way, always remember this, how I will present it. First and foremost, if you ask me what makes me a successful in an interview is pre-work. Prepare yourself. Very important. Prepare and prepare and prepare. How much preparation? There is never end to that. Okay. Now, does it mean that you just keep on reading about the company? You must know about the company. You must know about the products it has. You must be aware that what are the, where this company is situated. For example, if it's a US company, a UK company, or some Indian company, for example, Indian multinationals, there are a lot of companies that are like that. Okay, automobile companies, what are the products they have? You must have some information. Nowadays, I can tell you, if you just go to Google, put information about that, you will get a lot of information. This is number one. Number two, most important, if you ask me, second most important, I should tell you, is that when the role and responsibility, nowadays, when LinkedIn, for example, you will have, if you apply in LinkedIn, the role and responsibility is mentioned there. Now, if you go to the role and responsibility, they will give you a lot of detail about what is the requirement of the job, who they'll be reporting. Maybe that is also there. Now, when you see the roles available there, responsibilities available there, profile which is there, please read them properly. Understand what is the exact requirement of that organization for that role. Now, remember this, if I am an interviewer, I am interviewing a person, I will not look at just for this position alone. Remember this. Now, if I'm taking a colleague, if I want to do an interview for a person, I will definitely futuristic way I look at it. If this person I'm taking it today, in next 5 years time, where this person take me, he can progress towards. These are the things which the interviewer look at it. If one-to-one interaction is there, other person is also knows an idea. But remember this, please make sure that you please be prepare yourself. Absolutely must know is preparation. If you don't do, please, we are the responsible for making and breaking it. Just one more information I'll tell you. Whenever we go for an interview, there are other things like, for example, if you are already existing in the company and you take another job in the internally only, you will find that there is somebody else already hired. You think so. Why? Because there is a need. Somebody has already has fixed up, but it's just a process. Is never ever think like that. Okay. Now you go for an interview, give your 100% best shot. I'll tell you, in my experience, only I'll tell you that many interviews when we conduct, we already finalize a person. Okay. But when we interview a person, we will realize that okay, this person who I'm interviewing today is actually far better than the person who already agreed upon. We have changed also. It has happened like that. It is possible. But don't ever think that it's already somebody has been selected already. It's a formality. Never ever think like that. There is nothing called formality. Interview, you give a 100% shot. By preparing well, knowledge is very important. You have skills. You must understand what are the strength of yours. Please be aware of it. Prepare yourself. Know the roles and responsibility. Understand. Go through the roles and responsibility. Know more about the company. Very important for you to understand. Know about the company. If possible, you just find out who are all the people likely to interview. If you can know them through their LinkedIn profile or other ways, that helps you. But
Correct.
preparing
So
is very
during that
important.
interview, basically, what are the things is we should take care and we should think about it, or maybe what we can say, we should prepare for it.
Yes. See, when you do a better preparation, that is a half done, okay? But when you enter see, always remember, in an interview, that can be a one-to-one interaction, I was told you. There can be a group of people interviewing for you. There can be you never know what is that somebody else is looking at you. Please go in time. Very important. Always go in time. Maybe I'm saying 5 minutes, 10 minutes before the interview is also a good idea. Fresh up yourself. Very important, okay? Then be cheerful. When you go to the interview venue, you will find some people. For example, it can be in a hotel, it can be in an organization, it can be in any place. Please be well in time. Very important. Don't hurry up yourself. Relax. Go there, sit down, maybe have some water. Maybe if they offer you some cold drinks or some hot drink, tea and coffee, something like that, have it. No issue. Be very polite. Try to interact with the people who are around there. It will help not only to reduce your anxiety, it also help you to make other person also less anxious. Very important for you.
Yes, correct.
And when you enter inside, please wish people. Very important. Like for example, I'm very cautious about what type of wish you're doing. I've seen some so much of anxiety is there, Ashish. When some people come in the afternoon and say very good morning, and in the evening we do some interviews, we do that. It's a comment says a good morning, and I mean, type of you should be very aware of what is the thing. Say, for
Okay.
example, you go to the interview, go with a proper dressing. Okay, never ever go with shabby dressing. That is a must. And don't go with some flashy dresses. Okay, I've seen some colleagues, some people who come with earrings. I'm talking about not about the ladies. I'm talking about male. Come with the earrings
Yeah.
and a lot of bangles I've seen. Even for ladies also, please with a proper dressing, so which doesn't distract you. For example, I'm interacting with you. If I wear some, very, very funny things, and I'm sure what happens in those period, the person will be looking at those things more than actually looking at, understanding what this person is talking. The distraction will be there. Sober dressing is very important. During the interview, be in time, be super interactive, and wish the people properly. Very important. Wishing is very important. Say good morning, and if somebody asks you how are you, always be polite and say yes, I'm nice, sir. How are you? This is a good way of responding. Then if somebody they will ask you, I hope you're comfortable. You must have had a worst journey, okay? The traffic jam and every nonsense you had. If somebody asks you, for example, okay, how was the journey? Hope you are comfortable. Don't start, okay? Say that, Arey, sir, आपको पता नहीं है, this traffic jam and all this nonsense. Never ever do that. Nobody, see, remember this. You issue, nobody's bothered, okay? I am facing an issue. Nobody's bothered about that. Now, if I'm passing that issue to somebody at the place where it's not to be done, don't do
Okay.
that. Say, yeah, the usual traffic was there, but it's okay, sir. I'm comfortable. Use this type of word and cool yourself. And remember, in interview, what happens? Most probably, the first question you ask you, tell about yourself. Why people will ask you this question, if you know this, is this that who is the best person to know about yourself? Is you. If you ask me, talk about yourself, what I'll do, I'll be comfortable talking about me. Why? Because I know about myself. I know about what I am, from where I have come up from, and what struggles I had, and many various, information. Don't go detail about that, okay? Give a brief information about yourself. Then this is the first question they'll ask you. Most of the time, this is the question. If somebody asks you, okay, there are some three people sitting, okay, the one person is not even asking anything. He may ask you, what's your name? Don't get annoyed. Okay, these are the tactics people ask. Okay, if for example, if you say, okay, so what's your name? And you don't have to say that, sir, is already there in the CV. Why are you asking? We don't ask this question. Now, why? Because they may be just checking your responsiveness. It happened. I also done that. Okay. So we had one team member in our team in the interview panel whose job is just to irritate the person who comes for an interview. It is not, of course, irritation, but it is just to check how much patience this person has, and pressure he can handle this way. Because for example, in sales, the most important make or break thing happens is sales pressure. Okay, remember this. Now, in interview, what happens, especially in the sales type of interviews, so these questions will be asked, and then the other person tries to irritate you. Test your patience. These are the things happen. This is another one. Now, if three people are sitting there, now whom you should wish first? Okay, so that's again a very interesting thing. Okay, so maybe the first person you see, wish him first. Shaking hand is optional. Remember this, but it's good to try and shake hand. And if not, say best option, namaste, sir. I mean, namaste is maybe a good idea. Or if you say hello, sir, how are you? Then go sit there. Even while sitting, please don't make noises like pull the chair and all this. Don't make it. Make it comfortable.
So, particularly for after the interview, what should we do?
Yeah. Once you feel that, in the interview, just one additional point during the interview, don't give lengthy answers. Remember, point to point is very important. If somebody asks you a question, give a proper point to point answer. If you give detailed answer, you get trapped. Remember this. If I give more answer to a particular question, the other person will try to pull you. And if I can tell you as an interviewer also that they take enjoyment in pulling you. Okay, remember this. Don't try. Give point to point answers. And always during the interview, just close it, say, I'm able to clarify your query, something like that. In the interview, they'll ask you, last question they may ask that, do you have any question? You must have faced it, okay? When you say if you ask this question, don't say, sir, you may say, sir, what is the status of my interview? How well I've done? Don't ask these questions. Simply because in any interview, they must not, see, it happens like this. They will be seeing so many, candidates. They may select one or two and they call back again. And if you are that one or two, you'll be getting a call back. Now, they may say, sir, you may say that, when can I know that what is the status of this? Probably this could be one question you can ask. If they ask you, sir, any question is there, don't even go back and say, sir, can I ask you a question? Don't do all that. Be polite. Be precise, very important, and answer to the point. If somebody asks you the project you have done related to that, don't go in detail. If you go in detail, you get trapped. Just be crisp. Make sure that you be very polite. Smile or give a good smile. It will help. And post interview, this is very important that you don't keep on calling up and say, sir, what happened to my interview? HR person get irritated. Don't do that. If you're selected, it's a need for them to call you. They will call you. If you're selected, they'll call you. They'll give you information. They give you offer. Always, this is the very important. If you keep calling up and following up, may not be. Try once. Maybe it's a good to try. If say, sir,
So
after
in
1 week,
the
come to
same
know.
series, what will be, yes, it's a good point. Means most of the time people are got trapped or maybe into a behavioral kind of a questions. And
Yeah.
also when people respond something, generally in IT, in technical discussions or the discussion, whatever answer you give, based on that, they are asking the questions.
Yeah, actually that leads to another question, you get trapped actually. Make sure that you're precise in your answer, that will help. In the post interview, as I told you, just have patience. Okay, now see, you go to a sales, you want to buy a mobile phone, the person will show you some 4 or 5 types of mobile phone. Likewise, for an interview, they'll 4 or 5 types of people will be seeing. They may select the best, whichever suitable. Remember this, they'll ask you one of the question I've seen, what is your package and how much you expect if you're working? This is a very interesting question. And if you answer a question, you get trapped many times. Okay. Now, when somebody asks you this question, you may say, sir, some 20%, 40%, you can just some astronomical number, hum log bolte. So don't ever do that. You say, sir, as per the industry standard, if you know the industry standard, you say that in 20% or 40%, what 30%. But otherwise, you say, sir, whatever is suitable here, I mean, whatever is best suited for this role, and based on my current package, I request you please consider, this. And if you specifically ask you what is the number, then you can definitely give your number. Don't be so overconfident and say astronomical number, and tomorrow what happens, you will not be selected. And lastly, just remember this: any interview, always have hope. It so happens that you felt I have done a worst type of interaction. I could not answer any question. It happens to us. Okay, when somebody asks a question, it's a technical question, for example. Okay, now if some technical question is asked and you fumble, it's okay if you fumble. Doesn't really matter. But if you do, but don't give wrong answer. Very important. Technical question, you can't give a wrong answer. But if technical question you fumble, you give some answer, and if you don't know the answer, there's a possibility. You can always say, sir, I'm very sorry. Right now, I'm not able to respond to you this question because I'm not able to recall. It's okay. People will accept it. But if you give wrong answer, nobody will accept it. Okay. You fumble, that's simply okay. Now I'll tell you just quick one tip. You may feel that you did a worst interview. Okay. I can assure you that could be the best interview you must have done. Because the person who asked you the question, he want you to fumble, want you to realize that you can make mistakes. How you react after doing mistakes. For example, you not able to answer. Suddenly you feel some sweating ho gaya, and you start sweating, and you behaving, you start playing with your fingers, table and all that. That and all anxiety. Don't ever, not required. Okay, it's all possible. Right? It's possible that you feel all that. If you're facing interview the first time, if you're a fresher, these are all likely to happen. It has to happen. But over a period of time, I can assure you that the person who doing interview also realizes this. Okay, lot of chances are given to the person. If your resume is good and you're able to respond well, remember it's a communication base. Right now we are talking now. You're able to hear me. You're able to. I hope I'm able to clarify, give you clarification, be able to clearly communicate with you. Slowly you communicate. Be clear in your communication. Don't in a hurry. Don't be in a hurry. If you want to take some water, ask, sir, can I have some water? They'll allow you. They're all human beings. Okay, we are not
Yes,
machines
correct,
actually.
correct.
Don't think that the interview, and as Ashish said earlier, no, that you feel depressed if you don't get selected. Why? If there is one role, there are 1,000 roles are available. Okay. And if the company misses you, it's okay. That is their no problem. You have another company for you. Don't ever worry. Do your best in interview. I can assure you that the chances are that pre-work is very important. During the interview, how you behave, how you interact is very important. And post-interview, you have to have patience. And most likely what happened. Achha, see, remember this, an interview, 1, 2, 3 steps will be there. And the lastly, what happened? It's a formal interview will be there, like formal interaction between, say, for example, the HR head. Okay. Now it so happens that the HR head just want to say hello to you. He'll call you, and you think that just a formal interaction. But in that period, if you understand, okay, this if you do some mistakes over there, he may reject you. Remember this. Always, all the interviews, be very prepared. Whatever questions are asked, be very precise in your answering. Don't go in detail. And don't get worried if you don't have an answer, but never ever please give wrong answer. And lastly, wish people when the interview get closed and they say thank you, please thank them for giving their time. And if they tell you that ask any question, you can ask question when I can know and what is the likely period.
There
And
is a
ask.
one more thing. I guess in the same scenario, there is a lot of senior management rounds. The people are asking behavioral questions. Correct. How to handle when into second round, third rounds, a lot of behavioral questions is asked.
Yeah, nowadays actually, this behavioral questions are asked prepared. Okay, remember this. Now, there is no wrong answers in any psychological or behavioral questions. Remember this. Don't even think that you answered something and it's not like that. Okay, so there is nothing called wrong answer. All answers can be. Now, what happens in the set of questions when they ask you? They will be validating you. Now, in this scenario, what happens if the set of questions give you lead to some behavior a person is expected out of this role? Now, if you map to that role based on the behavior you displayed, the chances that you'll be selected. Okay. Now, here, what you can do, whatever you are, it comes out. Okay. I don't think so. You need to, fake anything. It comes out. Don't worry. But is that the only reason why you've been rejected? No, not at all. That could be one tick mark. If that works, there can be other set of things. Okay. Now, will you be rejected just because you have a set of behavior which may not be matching? Not at all. There are some 5 things which are get mapped. Okay. If out of 5, 3 or 4 get mapped, you'll be selected.
Just last question. Most of the freshers, especially for freshers, जो भी freshers, I have seen कि जो smart tier 2 city colleges, tier 3 city colleges, especially graduation colleges में काफी सारा crowd अभी pass out है.
Yeah.
But they are facing a lot of problems to giving an interviews and preparation for government jobs. अब government jobs में आप देखोगे तो hardly 1% and 2% ही लोग select होते हैं. अभी एक word मैंने सुना है basically called as a अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट इकोनॉमी, इट इज इंक्रीज्ड. तो अब आप देखोगे कि एक यूथ जो और उसके साथ में अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट, व्हाट इज योर सजेशन? आपको क्या लगता है, मतलब इनको क्या करना चाहिए, इंजीनियरिंग ग्रेजुएट्स या लेट्स से जनरल ग्रेजुएट जो बीएससी बीकॉम ग्रेजुएट्स, राइट? तो हाउ दे कैन बेसिकली प्रिपेयर?
The government, see, my experience also said that government job है. I have seen it. I have experienced this also. I have seen people doing that. Now, गवर्नमेंट जॉब के लिए परसेप्शन भी है और हकीकत भी है. हकीकत क्या है और परसेप्शन क्या है कि मान लीजिए आपको कोई गवर्नमेंट जॉब में कोई इंजीनियर का रोल, मतलब गवर्नमेंट ऑफिस में, पीडब्ल्यू डिपार्टमेंट में, या कुछ म्युनिसिपालिटी जॉब है, तो कनेक्शन ऐसा बोलते हैं. ओके. नाउ दिस इज वन. सेकेंडली, गवर्नमेंट जॉब के लिए जैसे फॉर एग्जाम्पल इफ यू आर लुकिंग फॉर हाई प्रोफाइल गवर्नमेंट जॉब, देयर आर ऑफ द, फॉर एग्जाम्पल फाइनेंस डिपार्टमेंट में, or if you done CA, you want to next level in that way. So government job के लिए क्या होता है ना, you have to have a lot of patience. And second most important is that I don't say that it's like connection is most important, but you should know the kind of people whom you can connect with them and get an influence possibly. That could be one way. I'm not saying that is the only thing, but what preparation I can do is गवर्नमेंट एग्जाम्स होता है, एग्जाम प्रिपेयर करो. इंटरव्यू होता है, इंटरव्यू के लिए आप क्या करो, इंटरव्यू के लिए होता है प्रिपेयर करो इंटरव्यू के लिए. एंड लास्ट मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट इज इफ यू आर डूइंग समथिंग एल्स, फॉर एग्जांपल गवर्नमेंट जॉब इज एक ही गवर्नमेंट जब बेटर हो गए तो चांसेस मिलेगा तो बढ़िया, ठीक है, नो इश्यू. बट गवर्नमेंट जॉब इज नॉट द ओनली थिंग. कितना सारा जॉब्स है यार, मतलब इट्स लाइक सो मेनी जॉब्स आर देयर. गवर्नमेंट जॉब तो देखो, गवर्नमेंट जॉब का जो मजा आता है आई एम श्योर यू विल फील दैट इट्स वो है. बट आई कैन अश्योर यू दैट साइमल्टेनियसली गवर्नमेंट जॉब अगर मिला उसका प्रयत्न करो. बट मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट क्या है ना, इसके अलावा बहुत सारा चीज है लाइफ में कि गवर्नमेंट जॉब के अलावा नॉट एवरीबडी कैन गेट अ गवर्नमेंट जॉब, बट प्रिपरेशन करना जरूरी है. गवर्नमेंट जॉब के लिए प्रिपेयर करो, अदरवाइज ऑल्सो जॉब के लिए प्रिपेयर करो. एंड जो इंटरव्यू में कॉन्फिडेंटली बात करो और देखो. बट एक ही मेरा एक सजेशन है दोस्त, है कि इंटरव्यू अगर हुआ और मेजर सक्सेस नहीं हुआ, आई मीन दुनिया बंद नहीं होता है दोस्त, इट्स नॉट एट ऑल। दरवाजा बंद है तो भाई साहब दूसरा खुलेगा, तीसरा खुलेगा, बहुत सारा ऑप्शंस अवेलेबल है। नॉट रिमेंबर दिस, देयर इज अब्राहम लिंकन ने बोला ना कि द डिग्निटी ऑफ लेबर मीन कोई भी जॉब, रिमेंबर दिस, कोई भी जॉब आज की दुनिया में कम नहीं है, छोट बड़ा नहीं है, छोटा नहीं है। हर जॉब इंपॉर्टेंट है, एवरी जॉब इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, एंड हाउ यू पिक इट अप द जॉब, हाउ कॉन्फिडेंटली यू डू द जॉब, हाउ मच रेस्पेक्ट यू गिव टू द जॉब, दैट मैटर्स द मोस्ट। ओके, डिग्निटी ऑफ लेबर वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। तो जॉब को समझो, और जॉब जो मिला है उसको कंप्लीटली इन्वॉल्व होकर काम करो, यू विल हेल्प, इट विल हेल्प अस। बट अगर इंटरव्यू में पास नहीं हुआ, दुनिया बंद नहीं है, दुनिया खत्म नहीं होता है। प्लीज डोंट गेट डिप्रेस्ड एंड फील दैट एंड इसके अलावा मेरे पास कुछ है ही नहीं। इसके अलावा बहुत सारा चीज है, आंख खोलो। डोंट गेट डिप्रेशन। आई थिंक दैट इज, आई थिंक मे बी वी शुड नेक्स्ट टाइम एंड वी शुड डिस्कस अबाउट द टाइप ऑफ डिप्रेशन में
कि
ज्यादा।
साइकोलॉजिकली कैसे हमें हैंडल करना है माइंडसेट को, राइट, जब भी आप प्रिपेयर कर रहे हैं, क्योंकि सेटबैक्स तो आते ही हैं। अब वो सेटबैक्स को कैसे हैंडल करना है और उसके बाद डबल एनर्जी के साथ कैसे हम लोग कमबैक कर सकते हैं, तो आइए
हाँ, ये
इसके ऊपर
एक
हम
बार
एक
डिस्कस
और
करेंगे। हाँ, ये तो
टॉपिक पे।
बहुत भी प्रिसाइज, आप लंबा कर लेंगे तो
हम्म।
चांसेस आर दैट द पर्सन, उनको लगता है ऐसा आपने बोला है कुछ और करते कुछ और, ऐसा नहीं है। देर आर लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स ऑप्शन अवेलेबल। बट
हम्म।
एक ही मेरा रिक्वेस्ट है फ्रेंड्स, प्लीज, इफ यू आर गेट सिलेक्टेड वेरी नाइस, पर दुनिया उतना नहीं है, उसके आगे भी है। अगर आपको मिला नहीं है तो दूसरा मिलेगा, बहुत सारा ऑप्शन है, एक गाड़ी गया है तो दूसरा मिलेगा। ठीक है ना? तो प्लीज चिंता नहीं करो आप। तो
चीज आप बोल रहे हो कि लॉट ऑफ अपॉर्चुनिटीज हैं, तो ऐसे
आज की
जॉब्स
दुनिया
का
में,
कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है। करेक्ट।
हाँ, आज की दुनिया में अपॉर्चुनिटी बहुत है।
करेक्ट।
बट हमें ये लगता है कि इसके अलावा कुछ है ही नहीं, ऐसा कुछ है नहीं, ये बोल रहा हूँ बस।
करेक्ट।
बट
तो
अगर कुछ
थैंक
मिलने
यू।
वाला है, प्रिपेयर करो, प्रिपेयर करो, वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। प्रिपेयर एंड प्रिपेयर एंड प्रिपेयर, दैट इज द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट। जैसे भगवान कृष्ण ने कहा ना, कर्मण्येवाधिकारस्य से माँ बलेषु कदातना, मतलब काम करो अपना, प्रयत्न करो। बट इफ मेकिंग एफर्ट इज एन इश्यू, दैट इज एन इश्यू। ट्राई एंड फेल इट्स ओके, बट नेवर फेल टू ट्राई, वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट।
थैंक यू वेरी मच सर फॉर योर फाइनेस्ट गाइडेंस एंड एक्सपीरियंस जो आपने शेयर किया। डेफिनेटली इससे लॉट ऑफ हेल्प, पीपल विल गेट इट, काफी सारा हेल्प लोगों
I
को।
sincerely hope that this interaction, if you've
हम्म।
gone through that, it will help you. It is just a basic starting point, maybe basic thing है, but इसके अलावा बहुत सारा चीज है। But please prepare yourself. I'm sure you'll be successful. Don't worry about whatever happens. You will be successful. So
करेक्ट
thanks,
करेक्ट।
Ashish. Thanks for this interaction. Hope our
So thank you
our
very
team.
much, and definitely we will be in touch and we will come up with some new topics into coming weeks. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.